There are a number of ways you can interact with your visitors using our website control panels features, blogging and social media being just a couple. Another valuable vehicle is to use online forms. This is an example of a form I created that asks for their name and email address, which you can see is required to submit the form, and various other information. Now this little gizmo down here is called reCAPTCHA, and it assures that a human filled out the form and not some spam bot. As you might guess, this is created using our control panel. We'll go on down here to Online Forms and then click on it. Now if I wanted to create a form from scratch, I'd come up here to Add a Page. However, you can see I already have a form we were looking at called Contact Us. So let's work with that. Another thing that's a bit different is that there are two edit links here, Edit Page and Edit Form. Now you can click on Edit Page to create the introductory comments or instructions that appear on the page above the form. You can see ours is pretty simple. You can get as elaborate as you'd like, and you also have access to the usual formatting tools and even the ability to add images, which you'll find right up here. Now maybe I'll change the color of this text. I'll highlight it, come up here, and I think I'll make it brown. Now once you're done, of course, you'll want to click on Update Page, which you'll find down here. Now to work on the form itself, we'll go up here and click on Edit Form. And once it opens, you'll notice that we have various fields you want to fill out, especially if you're creating a new form from scratch. You put your email address in both the to and from address. You can also set up a carbon copy and blind carbon copy if you'd like. Responses to the form will be emailed to these addresses. However, given email delivery can be a somewhat dicey proposition, we have a more ironclad way of keeping up with your posts. I'll show you that in just a little bit. You can fill in the subject line, and that'll be in the email to the respondent. If you click on this drop-down arrow here, you'll see options for what happens after someone submits a response to the form. Most of the time, you'll want them to receive a thank you message. However, as an option, you can also select Redirect Link. And this is handy when you want someone to fill out the form before they have access to a page on your site that would otherwise be unavailable. You'd insert the HTTP link in this window right here. The text you put in the thank you box here will appear on the web page after the user has submitted the form. Also, providing you're using the message option, the text in the autoresponder field will be in the thank you email that's sent to the submitter afterwards. Otherwise, you'll want to leave the Store Form Data as Yes. This creates a copy of the response that you can access in case the email version doesn't get to you. I'll show you how you can access that in a moment. You can select the color of the reCAPTCHA here. I personally prefer clear, but you can experiment with the options and see if there's another one you like. This is a very important feature, and we recommend keeping it active. Otherwise, the responses you get will be riddled with spam. Now here's where it gets very interesting. You can build your form down here. It's smart to take a little time to put some forethought into what it is you're trying to accomplish with your form and what kind of information you need to accomplish it. Obviously, it's a great way to start a relationship with your readers, customers, and clients. So you want to have the access to some form of communication with them, like an email address, which you can see we've made a required field up here. On the other hand, you want your form to be non-threatening and easy to use. People don't really want to be required to reveal too much personal information about themselves just to submit a form. So be careful to not put up too many gates. A good balance is to offer the opportunity to share all of the information you'd like to gather, but only require the bare minimum. The form setup may look a little bit complicated, but if you take it a step at a time, it's actually pretty easy to use. You can see that we already have some pre-filled fields for you to use, like name, phone number, and email address. And whatever you see in this field over here on the right is what you'll see on the website, so you can change that if you need to. To put these into use, all you have to do is put a check mark under Use. And if you want to require that a field be filled out before the form can be submitted, you can simply put a check mark here. We've made it easy to tailor your form to suit your needs with a variety of input methods. You'll see checkbox. You can put your topic in the title window and then list a number of options the user can select from, like you see here. On the site, you can see the responder can select multiple answers. Now when it comes to drop-downs, they display a set of possible answers that literally drops down when you click on the top one. You'd put your list of answers in the options window, and this is an input method you've undoubtedly seen before, And use this tool when you only want one answer, like this. Radio buttons also give you only one choice. Again, you'll see the possible answers in the options window. Just like their namesake, you can only select one station or choice at a time. They're especially good for yes/no answers or when you want a single answer like this. To get a more comprehensive answer, where a visitor can explain things more in detail, a comment box works the best, and these expand as needed. Back in our control panel, the Sort feature is an easy way to arrange the fields as they appear on your website. Lowest number will go at the top, while the highest number will be at the bottom. To give you an idea of how important this is, let's go ahead and remove this sort number for checkbox, and we'll update the page here. And when we go back to the form on our site and refresh, you can see things are a little out of whack here. I really wanted name and email address fields to be at the top. So let's go on back to the control panel, and we'll open Edit Form once again. We can scroll down here, and we'll restore the number value. We're going to put back that number 5 that I deleted just a little bit earlier. By the way, you can see that I've numbered these using only odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. This will allow me to insert a field at a later date by using 2, 4, 6, 8, and onward without renumbering, which can definitely be a pain. Now, all the information in the world won't do you any good if you can't see the responses you're receiving, and there are a couple ways you can access these. They should be sent to the email address you entered up here. However, email services are getting more stringent in their email protection, so 100% delivery can't be guaranteed, and there's a more secure way to check your responses. I'll need to click on Update Page to save my changes here. Now, if you scroll across this line, you'll see Stored Posts. And when you click on it, you can see all of the posts people have returned in response to your form. If you click on View, you can see the actual message in the reply. You can return to your post list by clicking up here. So let's take it for a test drive. We'll go back to the form on the website. Of course, we'll need to refresh it to reflect the latest changes, and I'll briefly fill this out. We'll give it a name of Cevado Support. Our email address is support@cevado.com. And we'll just randomly pick some things here. Marketing brochure, internal communication, down here, marketing, and we'll select a size for the company. And down here in the comment box, we'll just type testing this. We'll fill in the reCAPTCHA carefully. You may have to match cases, by the way, upper and lower case. And click on Submit. You can see I've received a thank you. This was the same one you put in the form, and the autoresponder message we set up in my email should show up a little bit later on. Okay, back to our online forms module, and I'll refresh by clicking here. You can see there's a new post. You click on the post to view the details, click on View, and you can see what I sent. Now, going back to stored posts, one other neat feature is you can export your posts so you can view them when you're not logged into your control panel, or you can save them for posterity. You can either select a program to view the messages or save the export file to the Downloads folder on your browser. Afterwards, if you'd like to do a little housekeeping, you can click here to delete any exported posts. So in a nutshell, spend a little time laying out your form ahead of time. Make it easy to use, and don't be overzealous with fields people are required to fill out. Play with the various options for user input and see what works best for you. Be sure to check your posts for replies, even if you don't see them in your email. And finally, use your forms as a two-way street to learn about the people visiting your website and let them know more about you.